Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for Freckled Fawn, and I'm sharing with you this layout that I created using the November kit. So this is last month's kit. I have a photo of my sister and I at Thanksgiving, and we are each holding a mug of mulled wine. And you will understand why that is important when it comes to the title. So I have ripped a piece of the tone-on-tone sort of floral leaf, well, it's not floral, greenery piece, and then I have just cut a I think it's a 1.5 inch strip that I will put down the edges of this grid layout. So this is another one of my layouts that I create using pocket cards that I like to call breaking out of the grid, because I am going to do a grid, but the way that I align my grids and with the torn paper, it doesn't look so boxy, and so that's why I call it breaking out of the grid. So you can see I have 2 of the 4x3 pocket cards there from the kit, and then I'm going to use this die. It is a Tim Holtz die from Sizzix that has lots of slits in it, so it's kind of like a folio in a way, in that you can slide lots of things in and out of that, so sort of more of a collectible thing. I am going to use my double-sided adhesive from ThermoWeb in order to, it's a very fine, I believe this is a 1/8 inch tape, and so that way I can make sure that I leave the slits free for opening. I have to tell you that I have finally figured out why Heidi Swap uses this particular tool for getting double-sided adhesive off. It used to be so easy, but I don't know, maybe as my fingers have gotten fatter and clumsier as I've aged, they're less pliable. So there's the grid, and you can see how having the border on either side, whether it had been on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, sort of helps break up that grid. Also, by using a 4x3 photo that I blew up to 4 by 5.33 or whatever that is, also helps break up that grid. So I have a digital cut file of a leaf left over from my previous Freckled Fawn November kit layout. I also have the pine cone, which is on the B side of that Stay Cozy 4x3 pocket card. So in flipping the side that I'm going to call them headers, but they're not headers when they're on the side, but the end cap is, the flowers are upside down, so I have to turn that around. So what I'm doing here is I have another Tim Holtz die. These are my favorite. You ink up the metal die, and it debosses the color into the cardstock. I always use white, and I forgot to pick up the tape here that I used as my carrier. And so it did leave a little bit of purple because I inked on the purple onto the tag, but that is okay because I will cover that up. And it's supposed to have a bit of a vintage look, so it wouldn't be as perfect anyway with that vintagey look. I will off camera put lots of little goodies into that. I will use one of the other pattern papers in order to create a tag using a Heidi Swap die. I will also put the purple pattern paper. It's a tone-on-tone from a different manufacturer on that in order to, I just wanted to add a little bit more of the purple that is in that pattern paper on the right-hand side that just pulls everything together. So I'm using one of the pieces of washi at the bottom of that 4x3 pocket card there, just for a little bit of more pattern. I'm also going to fussy cut one of these hearts out, and I realized after the fact that it really is the only green that I'm going to use. I think it's more the darker color that's in that multicolored floral pattern paper is more of the darker tealy blue. It's kind of more of that mariner's color that is one of the more recent Tim Holtz dyes. So I really like this piece of maroony mauvey, it's not maroon, it's more mauve chipboard, and it says Simple Pleasures, but it was too long as it was, so I just notched it. Don't be afraid to cut chipboard. Just because it is the shape that it is doesn't mean that you can't make it work for you. You just have to make sure that you have super sharp scissors in order to get a clean cut. So I wanted to incorporate a little bit more of that mustardy yellow into the layout. You can see that it's in the florals. It's one of the flowers. And there's really nothing else in the layout that is got that yellow mustardy color. So I thought I would put a trio of enamel dots, but I really don't like it. So then I thought, well, I'll put a sprinkling of the dots up by that pine cone and leaf, but I don't like that either. So I put one next to Simple Pleasures. And then I have one next to the leaf, and then I'm going to put the other two, or the other one, away. So I have here a chipboard, lots of fun chipboard phrases. This one says fun times, and I want to incorporate that into the layout somewhere. And in doing so, realize that I haven't adhered these things down, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere those down. I've already talked a little bit about the things that I tuck into that little sort of ephemera pocket tag. Freckled Fawn also has some floral die cuts, and so I'm going to use some of the yellow there in order to get a little bit more of that mustardy yellow color in. And they serve no purpose other than decorative. Really, they're not going to house any information because I've got plenty of place to write between the other cards that I've got there. So I had popped up that pine cone on foam, so in order to get that chipboard piece that says fun times down, I had to put a little bit of foam behind that as well. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and complete the title. I found this yellow mustardy label, and I decided to put that on the right hand side, again breaking out of the box, breaking that grid up a little bit. Also included this month are these really cool leaves, wood veneer leaves, and while I really liked the two because I have that pine cone, I'm going to put that third one next to the pine cone just so that I've got 3 clusters of leaves, and that is my repetitive element that draws your eye in that visual triangle around the page there. I don't really need that third one that's with the pine cone, but I kind of do. I kind of do and I kind of don't. It's one of those, I could get away with not using it, but I really am a stickler for having 3 of the same thing or similar things, and so it did need to go on the page. So this is where I complete the title. So stay cozy and boozy. So boozy is easy. These are the letters that come with this particular kit, and the reason that I put boozy is because we have the mulled wine, and it was necessary. There were a large number of us, and we haven't gathered for Thanksgiving in a while, and so we needed some little liquid courage. Not liquid courage, but we just needed some liquid boost. Let's put it that way. And so I used those mauve letters from another collection, a previous Freckled Fawn collection. So that you can see where I've added things that I did off camera. Enjoy the close-ups. If you have any questions about the kits, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.